I just deleted the whole other video, so I hope there wasn't anything good on it.
Just, I can reenact. There was a wave.
Oh yeah, and you showed your cup. And I showed this, and I said, do you guys know coffee?
Also, we said, remember how everything we have is crunchy.
All of our pod snacks are crunchy.
And then there was also a throat crunch conversation.
Whatever. You guys missed it.
Whatever.
We can't save everything that was perfect.
I think it's a odd chapter, isn't it? Or is it even?
23, so it's mine.
We didn't... Did I read 23? Thank goodness.
Wait, what?
I'm confused.
Is
now.
it 23?
It has to be, because today was 22.
And then we don't have another one yet, right? Oh my gosh, I got so scared when I pulled up Anchor and there was no new episode on it, and I was like, oh no, what happened?
I simply put it off until this morning.
I didn't know if, like, there was some sort of technical malfunction and we didn't have it. And
No.
I was like, do we have to re-record that episode real fast and put it out today?
Just do an Instagram live podcast today.
But no, we had
All
it.
good.
I did it. Because I was like, I know we recorded it because all of my notes are so funny because I crossed out huge sections of paragraphs and it made me happy.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, so then that's it. We're out of episodes and we need to record like today. We can't take another week.
No, we cannot.
But, oh my gosh, okay. Should I do an Edward impression?
Yes.
It's going to be a shorty, but a goodie. I was still frozen. His words were incomprehensible because they were impossible. He shook my shoulder again, not hard, but enough that my teeth rattled a little. Bella, he sighed. Really, what were you thinking? And so I started to cry. The tears welled up and then gushed miserably down my cheeks. I knew it, I sobbed. I knew I was dreaming. You're impossible, he said, and he laughed once, a hard laugh, frustrated. How can I put this so that you'll believe me? You're not asleep, and you're not dead. I'm here, and I love you. I have always loved you, and I will always love you. I was thinking of you, seeing your face in my mind every second that I was away. When I told you that I didn't want you, it was the very blackest kind of blasphemy. Hard laugh. That's what I meant. Ahem.
Okay.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Emily.
My name is Marin.
And this is
Remember Twilight. This week, on this week's episode, we are talking about Chapter 3 of New Moon. Chapter 23 of New Moon. The truth.
What?
Oh.
The truth.
What truth are we
I
talking
simply
about?
know all my truths.
Oh, I don't. I know 75% of my truths, and the rest I'm like, ooh. What did we talk about last week?
Oh my heaven goodness. We
What happened?
talked about airplanes.
Yeah, there was a little mention of it. So what I did last week was I etched out and scritched out every self-deprecating thought that Bella ever had. And it made me so much happier.
Yeah, it's really nice when Bella doesn't have feelings.
No, I only want her to have positive feelings. No negativity. Don't be sad in my presence.
No. This is 2020.
Oh no.
I have no time for your sadness.
But she and Edward sat and stared at each other. She toothpicked her eyes open so that she could remember this moment because she really felt like this is really nice, but it's going to end. Let's
truth.
find out. Good plan.
Thank you. Okay. You ever know when you take a nap in the middle of the day and you wake up and you're like, I don't know what day it is.
Yes.
I don't know what time it is.
100%.
I can't move.
Even
I'm
when
so
you look at the
relaxed.
clock and it says 5 o'clock and you're like, 5 o'clock in the morning? 5 o'clock 2 days ago? I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Nope.
That's how Bella feels right now. She had a swirl of a dream and of a nightmare.
Ugh.
Except it wasn't a dream.
No!
It actually happened.
Oh my gosh. Her vampire sweetheart held her,
He held her,
kissed her, loved her. I mean,
sniffed her,
oh man.
growled. All the Edward things
I
happened.
feel very emotional about this.
Okay. So Bella's laying there, practically in a coma, and then something gives her a boop on the forehead. The tiniest little boop.
Like boop kiss.
Suddenly, Bella's very concerned that Ghost Word might be more corporeal
Yeah, so
than
she's
she
like,
anticipated.
wait a minute, I finally snapped. It finally happened.
I can actually feel Ghost Word now. And as she's realizing that, she's like, oh man, it really does. It even feels like I'm laying in someone's arms right now.
Oh no.
Oh no. So she wakes up, gasps dramatically, throws her hand over her face.
Like a baby.
Uh-huh.
Not just they're like fists, like eh.
No. She goes, I'd forced it to get out of hand, pretty much stalked my hallucinations, and now my mind had snapped.
No.
It took less than half a second for me to realize that, as long as I was truly insane now, I might as well enjoy the delusions while they were pleasant.
Oh man, she and Edward, man. They are a match made in weird heaven.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what choice have I?
Yeah.
She opens her eyes. He's still there. She didn't rub him out
No,
with her fists,
You
her baby
can't.
fists.
not until we're married.
Wait.
What?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no, I need to take my sweatshirt off. But then Edward is like, what is happening? Did I frighten you? He's like literally scared. He's like, oh, uh-oh. This is what happened the entire time I was gone. She's like, this is the best delusion I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Except, you know, in Inception, when there's like one thing that's off, then you know that it's like
Mhm.
not a dream.
Yeah, yeah,
Or it
yeah.
is a dream.
Yes.
That's,
All of a sudden you start floating.
Yeah. That's Bella with Edward's eye color.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, usually my Edwards have golden eyes, but this
Mhm.
Edward, his eyes are pitch black and he has circles underneath. So, a little bit of a tell there.
Yeah. So she's like, what was the last thing that was actually real? Alice.
Yeah, Alice did come over. Bella's convinced that now she's actually dead, though. I did drown. Crap, crap, crap. This is gonna kill Charlie. Edward, again, you're not dead, Bella.
Edward deserves every moment of this
Yeah.
and more. I don't feel bad for him even for 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think she should like play this up even more to make him feel worse.
She keeps saying, like, why am I not waking up then? Like, obviously I'm dead, you're here. And there's no other explanation. And he goes,
He says the most Bella thing he could think of.
yeah.
I can see where you might confuse me with a nightmare. Good grief. But I can't imagine what you could have done to wind up in hell. Did you
no. Heaven.
Did you commit many murders while I was away?
Oh, Edward.
Jokey, even in the darkest times.
Memories slowly come back to Bella. And slowly she realizes that it's really Edward. What a time.
Aww.
What a wake up. She asks if everything actually happened, and he goes, well, if you're referring to us nearly being massacred in Italy, then yes. I was like, you know what? That was my first travel abroad.
She didn't even get to enjoy it.
I never been to Italy before. Isn't that crazy? And Edward goes, maybe you should go back to sleep. But she is not tired because she has been sleeping for 14 hours.
Oh man, what a dream.
What a sleep. She asks about Charlie. Good on you, Bella. And he says that he's sleeping, and also that Edward's breaking the rules by being over at their house, except he said not to come in the front door, and Edward climbed through the window.
So Charlie banned you from the house?
Yeah.
She's mad at Charlie now.
Yeah.
What did you expect, Bella?
Yeah.
You disappeared again.
Again.
Oh my god.
This chapter is just me being an adult going, Charlie's right. Charlie's
Yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Bella, shut up. Charlie's right.
Totally.
She goes, my eyes were mad. I was over the legal age of adulthood. Charlie doesn't care. She asks what the cover story is, and Edward's like, I don't know, but you were gone for 3 days. IDK, what to tell you? Maybe Alice will come up with something.
How does he not have anything?
He's
It
been
feels weird.
sniffing Bella the whole night.
He's been so bored. There's got to be some moment where he was like, all right, what are we going to tell Charlie?
Nah,
No.
he's just sniffing. He has to reacclimate to her smell.
That's true.
So he doesn't
He
kill
had
her.
to very carefully not smush her forehead in.
Yeah.
Yep.
The tiniest boop. Bella is meh about the cover plan because, guess what? Edward's here, and I get a look at him. Wow. She's still convinced that he's going to leave.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's just like, I gotta keep him talking, I gotta keep him here as long as I can. What have you been doing up until 3 days ago?
And Edward's like literally laying on the floor crying.
Yes. Oh no, poor Edward.
Nothing terribly exciting.
Oh no.
Bella does this weird thing where she's like, well, if you were a dream, you would say that.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean?
My imagination must be used up.
Edward tells her that he has been practicing his tracking.
He's very bad at it.
He sucks.
Why is he so
The
bad
worst.
at it?
I feel like
He
he'd be
can
good
read
at that.
everyone's mind. Why is he not good at this one thing?
I don't get it. It should be the one thing he's very good at.
Just listen and sniff.
She asks what he's been tracking, and he says nothing of consequence. But then he looks like very disgruntled. She says that she doesn't understand. He just looks at her, and he's shining with an odd green cast from the light of the clock.
Cool. Her light numbers are
Yeah,
He's
they're green.
cool. And then he's like, I owe you an apology. Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how many?
100.
A million.
100 a day.
Billions and billions.
An apology for every dollar Carlisle has in the bank. And then he starts to talk very, very fast.
I had no idea. I didn't realize the mess I was leaving behind. I thought it was safe for you here. So safe. I had no idea that Victoria would come back.
I was paying much more
Oh
attention
my
to James. I just didn't see that she had this kind of response in her, that she even had such a tie to him. Not that that's any excuse for what I left you to face. When I heard what you told Alice, and I realized you'd put your life in the hands of werewolves, immature. He's going off, and Bella's just like,
Please know that I had
No.
no idea of any of this. I feel sick to my core. Even now, when I can see and feel you safe in my arms, I am the most miserable excuse for...
stop. Are you ready to get out your crossing
Yeah.
tool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I already
Just-
did some right here.
Perfect. I was going to say, she goes, I tried to find the right words that would
Okay.
free him from this imagined obligation that caused him so much pain.
Oh, gross.
Why do
Bella.
you have to be in charge of releasing him from the pain that he
Yeah.
created.
No, she's very, very into making it her responsibility how everybody else feels.
That's exhausting.
Yeah, guess what, you guys? You know my Marin wisdom? It's not your responsibility to
No.
what anybody else feels. No.
No.
Even if, I mean, I'm like, okay, so Edward owes her an apology. Edward, blah, 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 blah. But still, it's not even his obligation to make her feel better. Like, he needs to apologize and he needs to make up for it. But if she decides not to, I mean, anything that she decides, that's her responsibility. And anything that he decides is his responsibility. It's not up to her to make it better for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a fine line and there's a difference between apologizing and forgiving and I will make it my life's quest to make myself small so that this other person feels better. Yeah.
There's like a slight flip side to that though. Not because you're like obligated to, but like I just think of Charlie and like the whole rest of this book where it's like Bella obviously forgives Edward completely whatever, but Charlie doesn't know anything of what's going on and he doesn't get the information that like puts him in an okay spot with Edward too. Like I feel like Bella could have made it like easier on Charlie to like ease Edward back into her life, even if it's just like an appearance for Charlie. Like
I mean, we will talk about this a lot in the next couple chapters, especially in the epilogue. Charlie kind of loses his freaking mind. But it's like, she's right when she says that she's an adult. I don't know. I'm so torn because as a parent, it's like, it's my responsibility to take care of you. You're being stupid. I know better because I'm older and I have more experience, blah, 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 blah. But also, like, she's a grown-up and she can make these decisions and she can do stupid things. And guess what? She's going to. So it's not, I don't know. I mean, I guess she could have been like, we'll figure this out, Dad. We'll, I will. But she does, though. She comes home after school. She does what she's supposed to do. She stays at the home. She doesn't go see Jacob. She doesn't do anything because she knows she's grounded and she's like, I'll just take my punishment. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it really, like, I stand by this thing where you don't have to make yourself small to make other people feel comfortable and okay with whatever's going on. So, being a human is hard.
Yes, let's get to the vampire stuff. She goes, I didn't want to be a source of guilt and anguish in his life. He should be happy no matter what it cost me.
Okay, now that's the problem. And I crossed that out when I read this chapter because I was like, no. That right there is the problem. Is that if it is costing you pain and anguish and you're just spending your whole entire life being like, I will do absolutely anything to make this other person happy no matter how miserable it makes me, that's where it gets really, really unhealthy. Period.
Drawing on all my months of practice with trying to be normal for Charlie, I kept my face smooth.
Oh no.
Edward, this has to stop now. You can't think about things this way. You can't let this guilt rule your life. You can't take responsibility for the things that happen for me here. Oh, if I trip in front of a bus or whatever it is next time, you have to realize that it's not your job to take the blame. You can't go running off to Italy because you feel bad that you didn't save me. Even if I had jumped off the cliff to die, that would have been my choice and not your fault.
Did she have a therapy session?
No.
Not even one.
Not even one. I was on the edge of losing it. I had to set him free. I had to make sure this never happened again.
Oh no.
But then Edward's like,
Isabella Marie Swan. Oh no, he didn't say it
No.
like that.
Isabella Marie Swan.
If it takes until my dying moment, I will make up for what I did to you.
Do you believe that I asked the Volturi to kill me because I felt guilty?
She's like, didn't you? She's, oh, Bella.
Well, yes, but Bella, I went to the Volturi because I thought you were dead. Even if I had had no hand in your death, Even if it wasn't my fault, I would have gone to Italy. Obviously, I should have been more careful. I should have spoken to Alice directly rather than accepting it secondhand from Rosalie. But really, what was I supposed to think when the boy said Charlie was at the funeral?
Oh no.
What are the odds? Bella still doesn't get it. And she's like, yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Don't mansplain my my whatever.
Oh man, good.
She goes, so what?
Excuse me?
So what if I was dead?
Oh man. Don't you remember anything I told you before? Yes, I remember everything you told me.
Mm-hmm. You jerk.
And this is where he's finally like, no, you're really confused.
Yeah, you obviously don't know what's happening here. And he goes, I'm a good liar, Bella. I have to be. And she's like, you gonna lie to me again? And you're gonna tell me you're gonna lie to me again? Jerk. He goes, let me finish. I'm a good liar, but still, for you to believe me so quickly, that was excruciating. When we were in the forest, when I was telling you goodbye, you weren't going to let go. I could see that. I didn't want to do it. It felt like it would kill me to do it, but I knew that if I couldn't convince you that I didn't love you anymore, it would just take you that much longer to get on with your life. I hoped that if you thought I'd moved on, so would you.
Oh my gosh. Edward.
Duh.
Ugh.
But
he hates it.
But I never imagined it would be so easy to do. I thought it would be next to impossible.
Okay. So here's where I wrote my essay.
Yes.
I'm just going to read it because it's fine. I can't see it. Okay, so you spent months convincing her that you loved her, that you were forever changed, that she was the only girl in the world, that you couldn't live without her. And as soon as she's finally convinced and completely secure in all of that stuff that you told her, you tell her a lie and you don't think she's going to believe you. It took her a really long time to believe that he was in love with her. She was like, oh, there's no way that this like angel could be in love with me, blah, 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 blah. And so finally when she was like, he does love me. I'm secure in this. He saved my life. He didn't kill me. Like, everything's fine. We're going to be together forever. He's like, I don't love you anymore. How is she supposed to not believe that?
Mm-hmm.
Of course she would believe him. She believes everything he says because he's never lied to her. Okay? You can't spend months convincing someone that you'll never leave them and never lie to them and then be surprised that they believe you. Right?
Right.
Edward.
That you would be so sure of the truth that I would have to lie through my teeth for hours to even plant the seed of doubt in your head.
Mm-mm.
I lied and I am so sorry. Sorry because I hurt you. Sorry because it was a worthless effort. Sorry that I couldn't protect you from what I am. I lied to save you and it didn't work. I'm sorry. And then he gets mad again. But how could you believe me? After all the 1,000 times I've told you I love you, how could you let one word break your faith in me?
Go back about 60 seconds and re-listen to my essay.
I could see it in your eyes that you honestly believed that I didn't want you anymore. The most absurd, ridiculous concept.
Oh my gosh.
As if there were any way that I could exist without needing you.
And she's like, I was still frozen. His words were incomprehensible because they were impossible. She has to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like mad at her at all. She feels this way completely reasonably.
Yeah.
Like, how could she possibly believe him now?
Frickin' Edward.
Edward.
She starts to cry and she goes, I knew I was dreaming.
He goes, how can I put this so that you'll believe me? And I just wrote, years of penance.
Yes. And massages.
So many spa days.
He goes, you're not asleep and you're not dead. I'm here and I love you. I have always loved you and I will always love you. I was thinking of you, seeing your face in my mind every second that I was away. When I told you that I didn't want you, it was the very blackest kind of blasphemy. She's still a cry. And he goes, you don't believe me, do you? Why can you believe the lie but not the truth?
Oh, man. And then she says the thing that is so true and so relatable to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All of us, we can all say it together. It never made sense for you to love me. We've all felt that way,
Mm-hmm.
you know, where it's just like, look at you, you're beautiful, you're smart, you're everything anybody would ever want. Why would you love me? And I give Bella so much crap, and that's part of me where I'm like, oh, I need to cross that out, but at the same time, it's like, no, that's why she can't believe the truth. The lie is easier because the truth doesn't make any sense. Like, it never made sense for you to love me.
Yeah.
I always knew that. Oh, poor Edward.
Yeah.
Why do I feel bad for him?
Because he's a sweetie.
He is.
He's a big dumb sweetie.
He is. He's the biggest, dumbest, sweetiest.
He goes, I'll prove you're awake. And then he does the
No.
Bella face sandwich with his hands. I don't know how else to say. He caught my face in between his hands because he does it all the time and it sounds weird to say it that way.
I'm just picturing when what's his name, the chef with the blonde hair puts a bread on each side of that person's face. An idiot
What
sandwich.
are you? An idiot sandwich.
This is Edward's Bella sandwich.
Yeah.
She's delicious. Bella sandwich.
She goes, please don't. And he stops.
Oh, I know. Please don't.
Please don't.
Honestly, I don't even want him to.
No. He goes, why not? And with a into her face, which is not fair. And she goes, when I wake up, and he goes to argue with her, and she goes, okay, when you leave again, it's going to be hard enough without this.
This
too.
is fair.
Yeah.
Everything that she says to him is fair.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to hear it.
Yeah.
And feel it.
Yeah.
Deep down inside of his gut.
Yep. He goes, yesterday when I would touch you, you were so hesitant, so careful, and yet still the same. Is it because I'm too late because I've hurt you too much?
Yes.
Because you have moved on as I
Yes.
meant for you to? That would be quite fair. So don't try to spare my feelings. Please just tell me now whether or not you can still love me after everything I've done to you. Bella goes, you idiot
What
sandwich.
kind of an idiotic sandwich question is that?
She takes the bread off of her face and puts it on his face and goes, you idiot sandwich.
What are you, Edward? I'm an idiot sandwich.
Just answer it, please, he says. And she stares at him and she goes, the way I feel about you will never change. Of course I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. And then he goes, that is all I needed to hear. And then he goes in for
A smoochy smooch.
bigger smooch. And he is quite aggressive today.
I mean,
Which
think of the
Bella-
Mount Vesuvius that's... Okay.
Bella's fine with it though.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? I kissed him back, my heart pounding out a jagged, disjointed rhythm while my breathing turned to panting,
Whoa.
and my fingers moved greedily to his face.
Mhm.
I gotta take my sweatshirt off again.
There was no pain in the world that would have justified missing this. His hands memorized my face the same way mine were tracing his, and in the brief seconds when his lips were free, he whispered my name, Edward.
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
I need a little break.
So does Bella. When I was starting to get dizzy, he pulled away only to lay his ear against my heart.
Oh no, it's the Buble again.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Buble.
I love a Buble. I'll take one anytime.
Oh, man.
I feel like I have the same body type as Bella,
Mhm.
so it's like there's nothing there to lay on. And so guys are just like, that's fine, I can put my head literally on your entire boob. But I'm like, if I was a size C or D, you would be a pillow.
Uh-huh. He goes, by the way, I'm not leaving you. And she just lays there.
Mm-hmm.
Heard that before.
Get it? I get it.
Mm-hmm. He lifted his face to lock my gaze in his. I'm not going anywhere, not without you. I only left you in the first place because I wanted you to have a chance at a normal, happy human life.
Right. Bella, who?
Huh?
No.
So I had to try, I had to do something.
Oh.
If I hadn't thought you would be much better off, I could have never made myself leave.
Oh,
Only you could be more important than what I wanted. Blah, 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 blah.
Amen.
It seems you can't be safe no matter how many miles I put between us.
Nope.
And Bella goes, don't promise me anything.
If I let myself hope and it came to nothing, that would kill me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would.
Mm-hmm. You think I'm lying to you now? And she goes, no, not lying, but you could mean it now. But what about tomorrow when you think about why you left in the first place, or later when Jasper tries to take a bite out of this?
Mm-hmm. That's the first time that he's like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I think he's just like in this world of I have to convince Bella that I'm never leaving again, or she'll literally, that will kill her. And so he's like, I'm never going to leave her again. I have to convince her of that. And then she's like, but what about Jasper? And he's like, oh shit, that's right.
She goes, I thought back over those last days of my life before he left me, tried to see them through the filter of what he was telling me now. From that perspective, imagining that he left me while loving me, left me for me, his brooding and cold silences took on a different meaning. She goes, it's not like you didn't, like, spend a million days thinking of this the first time and convincing yourself of it, so, like, don't promise me because you'll do that same thing again.
Yeah.
If you think it's what's best, you're gonna just do it.
Yeah.
And Edward's like, Bella, you weren't watching my live streams while I was away.
Well, he blocked her.
I simply laid down for
on
months
a
at a time.
concrete shaded alley,
Yes.
feeding rats.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, not very often.
Just when they happen to come right into his mouth.
Poor Edward. Just laying there with his mouth open, waiting for
Hoping a rat will climb in.
Rats love cold things.
Yeah, I bet they do.
No, I don't think they do.
The only rat I care about is Ratatouille, so.
My gosh. He's so cute.
He is.
Pulling on the
A
little
tug of a
hairs.
hair. Yeah. Edward goes, I am not as strong as you give me credit for. Right and wrong have ceased to mean much to me. I was coming back anyway. Before Rosalie told me the news, I was already past trying to live through 1 week at a time, or even 1 day. I was fighting to make it through a single hour. It was only a matter of time, and not much of it, before I showed up at your window and begged you to take me back. I'd be happy to beg now if you'd like that.
Yes, I think she should make him. I would love to see that.
I would listen to Edward for 5 hours
man.
trying to.
Just down on one knee, begging,
Mm-hmm.
hands clasped, fake tears coming because you can't actually cry. Oh man, I would just love it. I feel like, I know that Bella would never. She's like, no. But I think maybe I would be like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Let's hear it.
Let's hear what you're gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Beg me.
Beg me.
Is that bad for a relationship?
I mean,
I don't know.
not any worse than leaving someone.
Oh my
for
gosh.
6
Leaving
months.
someone, and then this conversation right now that we're having in the bedroom is just like, I get where he's coming from and what he's saying, but he's just like, you know, I was gonna come back. I had been living 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time. Now I was trying to make it through 1 hour. Guess what? Bella did the same thing. Like, he just thought that, like, their bond wasn't strong, or that his part was stronger, like, because she's a human. Like, he just thought she was gonna easily be like, oh, that was sad, but I guess I'll go ask out Mike. I don't know. Like, why would he think that their bond was not strong enough for her to also be going through that hell?
Yeah.
Like, 1 minute at a time.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason she made it through was for Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this is like a moment of Edward being just so blind to what he did to her.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, I was in pain. My heart hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It really is like so hard to read because I get it, but I'm so mad at Edward.
Yeah.
And I want him to pay. Because I don't feel like he did. I just feel like what he did to Bella, he doesn't get to feel bad and talk about how sad he was about it because he did it. It didn't have to happen.
Right.
He just didn't have to happen. It was completely pointless. You know, so for him to be like, I was sad. I'm just like, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't worried about that before.
Right.
I don't know. It bothers me.
Yeah. Do you think Bella would have had the same, like, reaction to Edward if he had just shown up back in Forks instead of her going and saving him? Like, if her and Jake were just hanging out and then she goes
really good
home and
question.
Edward's sitting in her rocking chair?
Like, how...
I feel like she'd be way more mad at him.
Yeah, I think that she would have just, like, tried to kill him.
Yes.
She would have been like, Jacob, form the head. Like,
gather the wolves.
Tried to kill Edward. I mean, and then she would have been like, okay, never mind. But, yeah, I agree. That's an interesting question. I would like to hear what some of our listeners think about that, because we've got some smart people who've been writing to us. But, like, how would Bella have responded if it had been him just been like, I'm back.
Bella, I'm sorry, I love you.
Creeping out of the closet.
Uh-huh.
I had to hide from Charlie, but I'm back.
First she would have been so scared she would have peed. And then she'd cry.
And then kill.
Yeah.
Pee, cry, kill.
Mm-hmm.
We'll write that down.
But I feel like she would have, like, it would have, like, slowed down their getting back together, I think.
Absolutely, she would have had to have the time to forgive him.
Yeah.
At this point, she was like, I didn't have any time to forgive you. I had to go save your ass because you were being stupid.
Yeah.
And so that's so frustrating, but it would have been like, okay, well, let's work this out and try to figure it out instead of like, well, we're back together now, no matter what.
Yeah. And where's Rosalie?
Oh, man.
I just want to look at her.
I know.
Before
she's
I take
so
you back,
beautiful.
how are things with her Nemeth?
Is her hair still blonde?
Okay. Here's Edward begging. Before you, Bella, my life was like a moonless night.
Shut up.
Very dark, but there were stars.
Oh my gosh.
Points of light and reason.
Okay.
And then you shot across my sky like a meteor. Suddenly, everything was on fire. There was brilliancy, there was beauty. When you were gone, when I left you,
Amen.
when the meteor had fallen over the horizon, when I had ran away from the meteor, everything went black. I'm editing this as we go.
Oh, it's good. It's better.
Nothing had changed, but my eyes were blinded by the light. I couldn't see the stars anymore, and there was no more reason for anything. You did that to yourself.
Yeah, well, and she goes, I wanted to believe him, but this was my life without him that he was describing, not the other way around.
Yep.
I mean, does he think that it was just... Obviously he doesn't. He knows that she had a hard time, but it's like, no, I don't feel like he gets to describe his anguish to her when he was the one that did it.
Mm-hmm.
This was his choice.
Yep.
And then she goes, your eyes will adjust. Shade, man.
That's just the problem. They
Shady.
can't. She asks, well, what about your distractions? And he goes, there were no distractions.
It was just a lie on the ground.
Uh-huh. That's funny, she says. I meant strange. I thought it was just me. Lots of pieces of me went missing too, and I haven't been able to really breathe in so long. And my heart, that was definitely lost.
Oh.
So Edward does a buble and checks to make sure it's still in there.
Yes.
She asks about tracking, and he says that wasn't really a distraction, it was an obligation. And she goes, huh? And he goes, even though I never expected any danger from Victoria, I wasn't going to let her get away with. Well, like I said, I was horrible at it. I traced her as far as Texas, but then I followed a false lead down to Brazil, and she really came here.
Edward, get out of here.
To Brazil?
Literally go away.
A false lead.
Go out the window
I
and go
accidentally
away.
followed another redhead.
You can come back in 3 hours when I'm not so mad. Go away.
I wasn't even on the right continent. No shit.
Oh my gosh.
Bella, you were hunting Victoria?
Charlie.
Yes. Not well, but I'll do better this time.
Oh my gosh.
And then dumb Bella comes back. That is out of the question.
Oh, how could
Even-
you possibly fight a girl vampire?
She will kill you.
She will murder you. She's like a cat. I can't stand it. No. Shut up, Bella.
And he goes, it's too late for her. I might have let the other time slide, but not now. Not after.
Not after what?
What?
He heard her say how much she wants to eat Bella?
I guess.
I don't understand what.
Not now that she's come back to Forks.
I don't know, maybe.
She goes, hold on. Didn't you just promise that you weren't going to leave? That isn't exactly compatible with an extended tracking expedition, is it? And then Edward, I will keep my promise, Bella, but Victoria is going to die. Okay, let's not be hasty. Blah, blah, blah. I've got bigger problems than Victoria, though. And Edward goes, yes, it's true. The werewolves are a problem.
Oh no.
No, not them. He asks what her biggest problem is, and she goes, I'll tell you my second biggest problem. The Volturi, remember?
And he's like, oh, them? No.
She's like, did we not
No.
just go through the same thing?
I love this so much. So he's like, we'll have plenty of time to think it through. Time means nothing. Something very different to them than it does to you or even me. They count years the way you count days. I wouldn't be surprised if you were 30 before you crossed their minds again. And then she goes, horror washed through me. 30. Oh God, no, not 30. Oh no, she'll be ancient. She might have a wrinkle by the time she's 30.
How dare you, Edward. So his promises meant nothing in the end if I was going to turn 30 someday.
30! Imagine it. Some women who are 30 have children. Ugh.
He goes, you don't have to be afraid. I won't let them hurt you. And she goes, while you're here.
Oh.
Burn.
Yeah.
And then he turns into a black hole. And he says, I will never leave you again.
But you said 30. And she starts crying.
What, you're gonna stay but let me get old anyway?
Old. Some
Right.
women who are 30 have master's degrees.
I have 3 master's degrees. He goes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. What choice have I? I cannot be without you, but I will not destroy your soul.
It's on the poster.
That's our poster
Everybody.
quote. Bella's so mad about this. She goes, but what about when I get so old that people think I'm your mother?
Okay.
Your grandmother.
I agree with her there.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's not cool, man.
But you can maybe like claim him on your taxes. She'll adopt him from Carlisle.
Oh, I don't like it. Carlisle will place Edward for adoption. And Bella will be like, yes, I accept all rights to this child.
She's like, no, Edward, I cannot marry you because in 10 years I'm going to adopt you. And that'll just really complicate things if we're already married.
Oh no. She sees Grandma Apricot in her mind.
does. He goes, that doesn't mean anything to me. You will always be the most beautiful thing in my world. Of course, if you outgrew me, if you wanted something more, I would understand that, Bella. I promise I wouldn't stand in your way if you wanted to leave me.
Oh, these guys.
They're so dramatic.
Imagine being a fly on the wall in this bedroom.
With your tiny popcorns.
Just every once in a while wiping your eye, right? Like flies do.
Yeah.
And then just being like, oh, shut up. And just a roll of an eye and then a wipe of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
Eating a tiny popcorn and then just being like, what did he just say? Did he just say she's going to want something different? After all they've said? These people crazy.
They crazy.
What?
No, they're just babies.
They are babies.
But Edward knows that babies grow out of their babiness.
It is true, and he has seen it for 100 years. People being like, at 17, this is the love of my life. This is the person I will be with forever, and I would never feel differently about them. But then 7 years later, them being like, I don't even like them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, guys.
Yeah, that's his life.
Every
He
day this happens.
goes to high school for 100 years.
So
And
he's
here's
like,
how in love everyone is with anyone, and then almost none of them stay together.
yeah, it's so rare.
Mhm.
It's great.
Bella goes, you do realize that I'll die eventually, right? Edward, I'll follow after as soon as I can.
And then she's so dumb and like, that is seriously sick. Like you wouldn't do the same thing,
Yeah,
Bella.
Bella. Bella, it's the only right way left. And Bella's like, hold on. No. You do remember the Volturi, right? I can't stay human forever. They'll kill me, even if they don't think of me till I'm 30. Do you really think they'll forget? And he goes, no, they won't forget, but I have a few plans. And she's like, plans to keep me human? And he's like, duh.
Yes.
They glare at each other. Bella pushes him out. Pushes him out?
How?
Pushes him away. And sits up. And he asks if she wants him to leave. And she goes, no, I'm leaving.
Yes, Bella.
And he goes, where are you going? And she says, I'm going to your house.
This is bad bitch Bella.
Uh-huh.
Standing up, making shit happen.
But Edward's like, here's your shoes.
Listen, this is where it begins, where Edward is like, whatever she wants.
Yep.
And in the next chapter we'll see that he disagrees with her plan, which he learned. You disagree with Bella's plans.
Mm-hmm.
However, he's like, from this moment onward, I cannot ever, like, not be in the same room as her.
Uh-huh.
So whatever she wants to do, I'm just going to support her and help her do it.
Yep.
Everything. Literally everything.
Almost everything.
Well, yes. But even, like, really dumb things.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
Here's your shoes. How are you gonna get there? And she goes, my truck. And he's like, that'll probably wake up Charlie. And she goes, I know, but I'm already grounded, so whatever. And he's like, yeah, that's true. He'll just blame me, not you. She goes, if you have a better idea, I'm all ears.
Stay here?
No. She goes for the door. He gets there first, and he says, okay, I'll backpack you. And she goes, great, but also you should probably be there too because you're extraordinarily opinionated.
Oh, man.
And I'm sure you'll want a chance to air your views. My views on which subject?
This isn't just about you anymore. You're not the center of the universe, you know, Mr. Edward Cullen. My own personal universe was, of course, a different story. If you're going to bring the Volturi down on us over something as stupid as leaving me human, then your family ought to have a say.
A say in what?
My mortality. I'm putting it to a vote. This is a democracy now.
Yes. Everyone's voice matters.
Stand up and let your voice be heard, Rosalie.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Oh, man.
Bella's third worst plan. Actually, really good plan.
This is the best plan
I
she could
freaking
have had.
love it so much. I love that she pushes him out of the way. She opens his Edward door.
Yep.
Walks right through. He's like, okay, well, here's your shoes. Fine, I'll put you on my back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Strong Bella, brave Bella.
Yeah.
Little ball of Bella.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, so good. I can't wait. I can't wait for next episode when we hear the answer to the voting. Make sure y'all vote too if you can.
Yeah. Bella, vampire yes or human yes?
That's a weird... Think of if we have anybody who votes for human yes.
I don't know.
Would anybody? People who are Team Jacob.
That's true.
They want her to be human yes.
Yep.
Wow. Never thought about that before because I hate it.
Yeah, they're wrong. No offense.
Oh, man.
Also, just to clear things up, Jacob Black is not our second favorite character.
I know, that was a weird review. Not that I like, okay, here's the thing. I'm going to encourage you all to go onto iTunes, podcasts, whatever, and leave us a 5-star review and leave us a little note. But somebody was like, I stopped listening when they said that Jacob Black was their second favorite character, and I was like,
huh?
This guy?
No, you misunderstand.
This city? Like, I was very confused, and then it was just, like, kind of incomprehensible, like, drunk typing. It was a drunk review, and I was like, I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But it was funny.
To clear the air, Edward Cullen is the first best character, and Charlie Swan is the second best character.
The chief will always be...
Obviously.
Right this close
Just
to
right
Edward
after
Cullen.
Edward.
Charlie the Chief Swan.
Yeah.
Think of that jersey. Oh, I saw some Rainier beer at Smith's the other day. I almost bought it.
We need to get some for our party.
And we're almost done with this book, and I can't stand it. It's so good.
We have a new character of the month, which is Jakey B.
Oh, he's so cute. He has long hair.
I know.
And a cleft chin. I can't stand it.
Yep. So he's available as a sticker and as a magnet on our Etsy. And if you are part of our Patreon or you sign up for Patreon this month, you get a free Jakey B sticker.
Yep. Any current Patreon subscriber gets the free sticker of the month.
Yeah.
Of the whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we have a new shirt out.
Oh my
which is
gosh.
the Wolf Puberty
It
shirt.
makes my stomach hurt. It's so cute.
Really funny. We have a couple more shirts that are coming out soon, which is fun. So
oh man.
Go click the link on our Instagram and click on the top one which says merch, and you can go look at everything.
Okay, so thank you for joining us and remembering New Moon with us. And remember, if you're going to marry a human, don't let them turn 30.
30.
Okay, love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. 30 years old.